working with Craig Corliss, catcher with the Blacks, for the last 3 years.
And now he's wearing Craig's number.
Well, yeah. Who was available.
I know, right?
But I mean, he's been helping Craig out a lot, and he's been working out with him, so he looks in good shape.
Yep, scoreboard's on.
Yeah, I know. Turned it off, and then when we turned it back on, maybe it's just been,
Funny how that seems to be the solution for most tech.
maybe it's just been connected to
Check in, Brad. Game time. Okay, let's go! Let's go!
From center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox Baseball on the Blue Sox Baseball Network. Tonight, it's the Blue Sox with a record of 7-7, 14 points, fourth in the ICL, hosting the Andre Chiefs with a record of 12-5, 24 points, first in the ICL. Good evening, everybody. Sam Feely here, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. The Blue Sox coming off a 9-4 win last night against the Melrose Americans, snapping the Americans' 3-game winning streak, which at the time was the longest active winning streak in the ICL, and the second straight game their opponent had that longest active winning streak. And here we go with number 3 with the Chiefs in town and a whopping 2. The Chiefs coming off a 9-7 win over the Lexington Bulldogs last night at Maplewood. The Chiefs and the Bulldogs have been playing played a couple of wild games the last 2 times they've met. Chiefs were actually up 7-0 after 1 inning last night. Bulldogs rallied to tie to the top of the 4th, make it 7-7 with the Chiefs pulling ahead with 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th to come away with that 9-7 victory. But the last time the Chiefs and the Bulldogs had met on July 6th, it was the Bulldogs getting out to a 9-2 lead with getting out to a 9-3 lead rather, with 6 outs to get as the Blue Sox take the field. Chiefs rallied, but the Bulldogs ended up walking it off in the bottom of the 8th. Blue Sox in the Carolina Blues, Chiefs in the classic maroon jerseys with white Chiefs script, and the Blue Sox wearing the white cap with the Carolina Blues. Don't do that very often. It's usually the navy, or if they have it available, the black and Carolina blue cap. The Blue Sox take the field looking to get back above 500. Mentioned, the roller coaster of a season it's been for the Blue Sox, but with the presence of many of their veterans last night, Matt Karras, Josue Feliciano getting back in the lineup. Julian, of course, Ryan O'Rourke got the start as a DH, then pitched the last 2 innings. It's a good feeling to have for a lot of the younger players, and there's another veteran who longtime Blue Sox fans, before even I, joined the Blue Sox, will be pleased to hear. But first, the starting lineup for the Andre Chiefs. It'll be Juan Parra leading off in right field, followed by Miles Reed at second. Teddy Juba is the DH. Andrew Caulfield is at first. Ryan Noon is behind the plate. John Batista is in left. Nate Witkowski is at short. Chris Klein is at third. And Nick Valdario rounds out the lineup in center. And it'll be Evan Walsh on the mound to start the game for the Chiefs. Pat McGowan getting the start on the mound for the Blue Sox. Gowan making his fifth appearance of the season, 1-2 with a 1 ERA and 7 innings work. 1 hit, 2 runs, one of which was earned, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Juan Parra leading off. First pitch, 8:04, ground to the left side. Backhanded deep in the hole. Off bounce throw to short. A pick by Sway, and he didn't get the out. Well, that is Juan Parra's speed for you. Can still, it's a hard out to get. It was a close play, but first pitch swing, and Juan has an infield single, and that will just continue to pad his ridiculous offensive numbers. Comes into play tonight as the ICL's leading hitter at 500, and that'll bump it up a little bit. Here's Miles Reed, who takes down and away for ball one. 1-0. Not to mention Parra with a 500 average and also 3 steals in 3 attempts. On base percentage of .565. That runs in and nearly gets him, and it's 2-0. And the OPS, third in the league at 12-13, behind Andrew Mazzoni of the Expos and Julian Alvarez of your Lexington Blue Sox. 2-0 the count now to Miles Reed. Throw back to first, and Parra is back standing. Reed playing in his 16th game of the season. He takes inside. 3 balls the count. 392, 441, 471 is slash line. Good for a 911 OPS. 20 hits in 51 at-bats, 4 doubles, no homers, 8 ribbies, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. 3-0 the count to the Chiefs' second baseman with Teddy Juba on deck. Inside for ball 4, and the ball pops away from the catcher Casserly, but no further advance by Parra, just a walk, and here is Thaddeus. Teddy entering play, kind of a down year by his career standards, at least in 474. I don't know, maybe it's an up year. 474, 571, 605. His slash line for an 1177 OPS. Bunting? Want to know? I've been talking to Teddy over this week. I told him, I wish I had, half the patience in life that you do at the plate. Dude dude's got a .571 on base percentage, 2 doubles, 1 homer, 12 ribbies this season to go along with that 474 batting average. He fouls that one off. The count is 1-1. Why would I say that was a down year? What am I doing? Because it's actually, in terms of, his on-base percentage, an up year. At .571 for his on-base percentage right now, his Boston Amateur baseball career has him at .509 for his career on-base percentage. Career OPS of 1068. Teddy takes on the outside corner, 1-2. So, yeah, need someone to grind out an at-bat and, get a pitcher out of his rhythm. The guy you need. Right now he's trying to bring home the first run of the ball game. 1-2. Foul the other way, and that'll get out of the reach. Dylan Walsh. Still 1-2. Teddy this year against the Blue Sox, he only played in 1 game. 1 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. A rare strikeout. Against the Bulldogs last night, went 3 for 4. Drove in 1 run, had 2 runs scored as well. 1-2 still the count to Teddy. Nobody out here in the top of the first. Parra reached on an infield single. Reed drew a walk. 1-2 to Juba. Here it is. Grounder to the left side and through for a base hit. Anthony Perry will put the brakes on Juan Parra. And the bases are loaded. Parra and Juba going the other way on their base hits. And now it's Andrew Caulfield. Caulfield entering play, slashing .321, .377, .585, 3 homers and 23 runs batted in. 6 clear of Mazzoni for tops in the ICL. Just missed the top of the zone there for ball 1, 1-0. Mm, 2-0. And D'Angelo's talking to Matt Karras right now around the Blue Sox dugout. You know, how are we going to get out of this bucket of syrup? Parra at third, Reed at second, Juba at first. This is into right center field. Keep in mind the wind's carrying the ball out today. That'll be tracked down in right, though, by Alvarez. It'll be a sac fly as Parra scores. And Reed gets to third. Juba holds at first. Now, there are a lot worse outcomes you could have gotten out of that at-bat if you're the Blue Sox. But the Chiefs strike first. It's 1-0. First and third, 1 out. Here is Ryan Noon, the catcher. On the outside corner for strike 1. I think that's the spot you want to be in right now against lefties tonight if you're a pitcher in this game. Noon playing his 11th game of the season, slashing .406, .474, .531, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 9 ribbies. 1-1. I know Teddy's got 1 steal tonight, but in this situation, I don't think you think he's going to be running too much. Wind is blowing out tonight, 81 degrees at first pitch. In there for strike 2, 1-2. McGowan's longest outing of the season was on June 28th against Malden. No decision, 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Up and away to even the count at 2. Do not want to reload the bases. John Batista's on deck, waiting to unload a Batista bomb. Flare down the left field line, and it drops foul. McGowan got the win against the Expos his last appearance on July 5th. 1 inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and 1 hit batter. It's 3 innings against Malden. That was the game where Blue Sox got no hit by the Mad Dogs, and that was the Mad Dogs' first win of the season. That's down and away, and the count is 3-2. Against John Batista on deck. Don't want to load the bases for a guy with his power. Another throw back to first. Teddy and Sway go back a long way, that's for sure. Slow grounder to third. They'll only get the out at first, as in to score is Reed to make it 2-0, and Juba gets up to second. RBI G5 for Noon. So we're at second, 2 down for John Batista. Batista entering play, slashing 273, 447, 424. 2 doubles, 1 homer, 7 RBIs, 10 walks, 12 strikeouts. In there for strike 1. Last night against the Bulldogs, Batista went 1 for 2 with a solo shot, and being his first home run of the year. Third game in 3 nights for the Chiefs here. As I mentioned, won the first 2 against Malden and Lexington. On the Lexington Bulldogs, of course. 1-2. Mentioned that Pat's longest appearance was during the no-hit of the season, was during the no-hitter against Malden. This is Pat's first start on the mound this season. Thank you, Bruce. Chiefs leading 2-0 and looking for more. Batista behind 1-2. Kind of an iffy start with Parra and Reed. He has gotten to 2 strikes. Everyone else, can he put Batista away here? Wow, very generous call, 3rd strike there. The side is retired. Batista does not like the call. And that'll do it for the top of the first, but the Chiefs take the lead, 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1. Happening in the books, Chiefs 2, Blue Sox coming up. And as promised, here is the Blue Sox starting lineup. It's going to be Ernie Little leading it off at second, followed by V. Desai at short. Julian Alvarez is in right. Austin Mazel is in center. DJ Johnson is the DH. Will our mystery guest enter and sign in, please? Former Blue Sox and former Cincinnati Red Ryan Hannigan returns to the Blue Sox tonight, making his first appearance of the season as the extra hitter. Pat Casserly is behind the plate. Brendan Walsh is in left. Josue Feliciano is at first. And Dylan Walsh rounds out the lineup at third. Speaking of Walsh, Evan Walsh will get the start tonight for the Chiefs. I mentioned that earlier, but when I give it a chance. I know, right? I wonder if a Walsh versus Walsh at bat is going to result in a deep fly to right like the Johnson v. Johnson battle last night. It wasn't much of a battle. It was Johnson ranching. It was DJ absolutely ranching Greg Johnson on the first pitch Johnson threw in relief last night. But anyways, Evan Walsh tonight, this season, he's making his 4th appearance of the season tonight. He is 1-1 with a 2.88 ERA in 17 innings. He has allowed 17 hits, 12 runs, 7 of which are earned, walked 13, struck out 26, surrendered 1 home run, and hit 1 batter. His last appearance was on June 28th against the Blue Sox. Got a no decision as the Chiefs came back to win that game. Went 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 3, and struck out 5. He's looking for his first win since his first appearance of the season against the Mad Dogs on June 10th when he pitched a complete game. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, walked 5, and struck out 10. 130 pitches in that game, in that first game. Oh wow. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that because I got here, towards the end of that game, setting up for our game, and Evan definitely looked tired as that game wore on, and the Mad Dogs were coming close to breaking through, but Evan got through it, and 130 pitches and 7 innings. But Evan got the win in that game for the Chiefs. So here we go to the bottom of the first, and here is Ernie Little. It takes on the outside corner. Strike one. Ernie entering play, slashing 371, 410, 429, 2 doubles, 2 ribbies, 2 walks to 8 strikeouts, and a team high 5 stolen bases. He'll bloop this one the other way, and it gets down in front of Parra for a leadoff single. Leadoff man aboard, that is critical. Just for baseball in general, but especially for the Blue Sox. You know, a lot of the games this season for the Blue Sox have been determined by whether they get their leadoff men on base and whether they can prevent the other team from getting their leadoff men on base. Taken down the pipe for strike one to V. Desai. Desai made his Blue Sox debut last night and went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Curveball on the outside corner, 0-2. Walsh, by the way, in his career with the Chiefs dating back to 2014, has a career record of 10-25 with 3 saves and a 3.42 ERA. Oh, big looping curveball, and he comes up empty for strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. V. Desai, and here is Julian Alvarez. Yeah. It doesn't sound right, but like throwback to first. Oh, it nearly airmailed the first baseman Caulfield trying to catch Little napping. But it is 1-0, and good job by Caulfield to prevent that from going up the right field line, possibly out of play. 1-0 to Jules. Hits this one the other way, deep to right field. Back goes Parra to the wall. It is gone! Julian Alvarez's torrid season continues. We're tied at 2. So Julian Alvarez, well, we've talked about his cleaning out the Blue Sox record books this season. That's his 5th home run of the season, and it is the most by a Blue Sox in a single season since 2006. We are tied at 2. And remember, folks, Jules has 5 home runs now. There's still 10 games left in the season after this. Strike 1 to Austin Maisel. Bounces to the plate for ball 1. So Alvarez, with his 5th home run, his 16th and 17th RBIs. Two and 1. Maisel entering play at slashing 424, 459, 545, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 6 ribbies. 3-1 now to Maisel. Maisel did not play last night against the Americans. Last Friday against the Mad Dogs. Went 2 for 3 with a run scored. Make it move like the Matrix when dude was ducking slugs. Ball 4 to Maisel. He is aboard. DJ Johnson to the plate. Go back to last night's game. Remember, greeted Greg Johnson pretty rudely with one of the deepest home runs, one of the most emphatic bat flips I've seen. And you know he likes to swing at the first pitch. Even before that snot rocket off his bat last night. And the foul sign went straight back, though. It's 0-1. The solo shot he hit last night off Johnson, though, Greg Johnson, as he waits on this one, grounds it up the middle, fielded it short to second for one, on to first for a critical 6-4-3 double play that ends the inning. I mean, good job by DJ to wait on that and try to, muscle the other way or up the middle, but positioned perfectly was Nate Witkowski for the 6-4-3. Side is retired, 2-2 after one, but Johnson, his solo shot last night was his second home run of the season and second RBI, and his first since opening night against the Bulldogs. And he basically hit the ball to the same distance, the same spot. Well, that was here at Lexington High. Say hi to the folks at home, DJ. All right, so we'll go to the top of the second, where it'll be Witkowski, who just started that 6-4-3 double play. Klein and Valdario due up for Andre. Chuck, Andre, how you doing? Chucky's doesn't wait, is that Chucky over there? Hey, is that Chucky over there? Or yeah, is it? No, it's not Chucky. Okay, couldn't tell for a moment. I don't know. He has to be subscribed to the channel to chat, though. Well, I did say, hi, Chucky, how you doing? I turned to my left. I saw a gentleman who kind of looked like Chucky from the side. I don't know. It's not Chucky. Disregard. You see, that's a general problem with me in my broadcasting career, in my sports broadcasting career. A lot of times I do not recognize the players outside of their uniforms because I usually see them only, in a game context. Nate Witkowski takes strike one. It's harder, for the hockey teams I cover, the football teams I cover, when you got, you're a few rows back and got the helmets and the face masks and everything. 0-1 the count to Witkowski. Takes strike two. Oh, that is going to be an interesting spot. Hitters are going to have to adjust. Get the righties on the inside part of the plate and the lefties on the outside part of the plate. 0-2 to Witkowski. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Nate Witkowski, 1 up, 1 down here on the top of the second. Second straight strikeout for McGowan. Before that, Witkowski was slashing 158, 261, 184 with 1 double and 6 ribbies. Here is Chris Klein, the third baseman for the Chiefs, playing in his 10th game of the season. 278, 381, 444 with 1 homer and 4 ribbies. Ball 1. Let's see if see if a 2-run piece to tie the game by Alvarez settles down. McGowan here on the mound after a bit of a bumpy start, Got through just the 2 runs allowed after the Chiefs load the bases with nobody out. I mean, that's one of the, better outcomes you can hope for, just allowing the 2 runs. And neither of them coming on hits either. 2-1 the count to Klein. Because Parra came in on a sac fly by Caulfield, and then Reed came in on the ground out by Noon. You trade the run for the out in that. You trade the runs for the out in that for the outs in that situation. It's manageable. You don't let the game get out of hand early. Fouled off, and the count will leave it at 2. But to go back to Evan Walsh's career numbers, Bruce just expressed some disbelief when I was reading them, and I'll go over them again real quick. But second, popped up, carrying a little bit. I told you the wind was carrying out there a bit, and a little bit of a turn, but Jules hauls it in for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, and here is Nick Valdario. So, again, so this is Walsh's career pitching numbers dating back to 2014. He actually started his ICL career with the Chiefs. then went to the Arlington Trojans for a couple of years, and then came back to the Chiefs. And in 2020, when the ICL season was canceled, he spent a year with the Charlestown Townies. So between, so in 10 seasons, 9 in the ICL and 1 in the Yawkey League, he is 10-25 with 3 saves and a 3.42 ERA. Strike one to Valdario. But to give those numbers some context, well, we'll have to wait on that one. Probably better when he comes to the mound to give you that context. There's a 1-2-3 inning turned by McGowan as Valdario grounds out 4-3. Buck and a half in the books and tied at 2. Valdario playing with the Somerville Royals before coming to the Chiefs. But anyways, so after loading the base with nobody out, actually McGowan's now retired 6 in a row. So we'll see if that's the groove he's looking for. We'll see if Walsh is getting into a groove here after getting a critical 6-4-3 double play to end the bottom of the first after Alvarez tied the game with his record-setting 5th home run of the season. And Blue Sox franchise record is setting 5th home run of the season. And Maisel getting a walk to keep the inning going. So at this point, got 2 runs and 2 hits with 1 left for the Chiefs and none left for the Blue Sox. And Ryan Hannigan returning to Lexington High. Plays first Intercity League game in over 2 decades. Hannigan played for the Blue Sox 99 and 2000. He's a product of Andover High. Played his college ball at Rollins in the they were rivals of Tampa and Florida Southern, and the stories of Sammy Steed and Bruce Hack, going back and forth on that rivalry. Ryan Hannigan, welcome back to the Blue Sox. Wearing number 34, which was worn at the start of the season by Craig Corliss, whom Hannigan has been working with personally to help him in all facets of his game. And Hannigan had a great first half. Corliss had a great first half of the season with the Blue Sox. And now Corliss is in the MLB Draft League, and here is Hannigan wearing his protege's number. It's 1-1. Circle of life, right? Down and away for ball 2. Hannigan wore number 10 his first time around with the Blue Sox. Here he is wearing 34. Wore 29 with the Reds and actually wore 10 with the Red Sox. Played 11 years in the bigs, did Hannigan and a broken bat grounder. Sometimes he can get tied up there. And Walsh almost lifted that underhand toss over Caulfield's head. Caulfield's had to stretch a little bit tonight. 1 up, 1 down as Hannigan grounds out. But Hannigan played 11 years in the bigs, from 07 to 13 with the Reds, 14 with the Rays, 15 and 16 with the Red Sox, and 17 with the Colorado Rockies. Put up a career on-base percentage of .344, which is absolutely nothing to sneeze at against Major League pitching. Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Pat Casserly. I mean, how many of us, regular schmoes can say we could put up a OBP of .344 against Major League pitching? How many major leaguers can say that? At the top of the zone for strike 2 to Casserly. Casserly swings and misses. The pitch bounces away from Noon, and he's going to beat it out. He's going to get to first. So Casterly entering play tonight at batting 120, but with a 303 on base percentage. That won't help the OBP, but it will get him aboard. A strikeout for Walsh, but the wild pitch allows Casterly to get to first. Ross Curley's immortal words will always stick with me. Swing now and run. Here is Brendan Walsh taking ball one. So Brendan Walsh against Evan Walsh, with Dylan Walsh 2 batters after Brendan. Let's try to figure this out. 2-0. 2-0 to Brendan. Where are my pipes going there? Brendan playing in his 8th game of the season. He's 3 for 7 with 1 RBI, 1 run scored, and 2 walks. Fouls that one off, and it's 2-1. Brendan was 0 for 1 against the Mad Dogs last Friday. Was 2 for 2 against the Bulldogs on June 26th with an RBI. And 1 for 1 against the Chiefs on June 19th. Swing and a miss, and the count will be 2-2. Late swing there by Brendan. Sway is on deck. And we'll turn up the f-stop in just a moment, folks. But first, the 2-2 from Walsh to Walsh. 3-2, and again, Noon thinking about going to first to try and pick off Casserly, but Casserly wasn't going anywhere. And it doesn't feel windy right now at field level, but the American flag behind the scoreboard is really whipping around right now. Time called late, but it's ball 4. Didn't get time, wasn't granted time, doesn't matter. Brendan is aboard. 2 on, 1 out. Here is Josue Feliciano, returned to the Blue Sox lineup last night. Didn't start the game, but got in as the extra inning. Again, then took the field at first and caught a liner for the final out of the ball game last night, a 9-4 win. Let's see what Sway can do here in his first start of the season. Outside for ball 1, close pitch, but Sway ahead 1-0. Sway fouls that one off. Count will be even at 1. Last year, Sway batted 292 /292, 346, 333 in 16 games. Previous year, Zach was /378, 451, 556 in 16 games. He fouls that one off of Noon, and the count will be 1-2. Sway had 5 ribbies last year, and looking for at least one here, if he can smash one back up the middle. Now we'll ground this one to the right side. It's a slow roller to second, to the shortstop for 1, on to first for another inning-ending double play. Great job by Walsh. He's ended each of the first 2 innings with pretty routine double plays. 6-4-3 the first time, 4-6-3 this time. Blue Sox, no runs, no hits, 1 left. Through 2, still 2-2.
realize like halfway to play, I don't think
So we go to the top of the third, and it's the top third of the Chiefs' order. Due up, Para, Reed, and Juba. Para, infield single to begin the ball game, came around to score the game's first run. Breaking ball misses inside for ball one. Trying at the same spot that's been so kind to McGowan so far against righties, but unsuccessful there. Para pops this one up. In comes Alvarez, and he's got it for out number one. The guy with as much speed as Para, you wonder, is that going to be a blooper? And he's going to, beat it out or something. But that hung up a lot longer than I thought it would, so it just turned into a routine pop fly for Jules. One down, and here's Miles Reed. Walked and scored the game's second run back in the first. Still sitting on 2 runs and 2 hits for each side. We'll see if the Chiefs can get back in the run or hit column here. They've been retired 7 in a row now since Juba's single loaded the bases with nobody out back in the first. Reed to the left side, and it gets past the third baseman, Dylan Walsh. Left fielder Brendan Walsh is coming in to get it, but then it'll be the shortstop Desai. It's a weird hop. So what do you think, Bruce? I'll wait for the scoring from Bruce. Here is Teddy. 1 on and 1 out. Up and away for ball one. You don't need to have a Teddy Juba caliber eye to lay that one off. 1-0. Teddy with a single, his first time up. Runner goes, pitches outside, and then dropped on the transfer by Casserly. So no throw at all. Reed is in scoring position with a 2-0 count. For a minute I thought, did the umpire accidentally bump Casserly? But I guess that was not the case. He just lost on the handle. And 2-0 runner in scoring position. Go-ahead runner in scoring position for Teddy, who pops this one up on the infield over the left side. It drops. Dylan lost it in the light. Well, first and second now. 1 out after what should have been runner at second, 2 down. Infield comes in. First one was a hit or hit for now? All right. So Reed is going to get credit for a single, but Juba's going to reach on an error. I'm sure Teddy will argue, dude, it will be like, hey, the ball didn't even hit his glove. Does that count? I know. I know. Teddy really wants the average in the OBP though. I know him that well enough. As this is deep into right field, Alvarez settles under it, makes the catch. Throw comes into the cutoff man as Reed easily tags and gets to third. And I was thinking about maybe trying to make a break for home, but holds up. So it's first and third. And before Ryan Noon gets his turn at bat, As Caulfield flies out to Julian for the second time, Matt Garrett's going to go out and have a conference with the entire infield. Bruce pointing out to me now that last night the Blue Sox outfield didn't register a single putout, and Julian himself has 4 putouts tonight. And we're not even through 3 innings. 4 of the 8 outs caught by Julian. No other outfielder, by the way, has a putout yet. It's just Julian. So Noon with runners at the corners as that goes into the woods for strike 1. 0-1. Runners at the corners and 2 down now for Ryan Noon. You got Reed at third and Juba at first. Noon grounded out to third his first time up, and that brought in Reed with the second Chiefs run. Grounds it to the left side this time. Walsh on to first, and good job escaping that little jam there by McGowan. It's out of the inning unscathed, so Caulfield's flown out to right twice, and Noon's grounded out to third twice. The first time, Caulfield Noon brought in a run with their outs. Tonight, nothing for them. This turn, nothing doing, so we're still tied at 2 through 2.5. Don't forget, folks, to follow and support the Blue Sox and the rest of the Intercity League by subscribing to this here YouTube channel at Blue Sox ICL, and follow the Intercity League and the Blue Sox on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on the web at intercityleaguebaseball.com. 2-2 as we go to the bottom of the third, and it'll be Dylan Walsh, Ernie Little, and V. Desai coming to the plate for the Blue Sox. Both teams getting 2 runs in the first inning. Alvarez being in the center of the storm, as he seems to be quite frequently. Dylan Walsh, and just trying to, not have just the headset mic here. This is, unidirectional. At least I got the ambient mic on the camera, but it's too close to me. You don't want my stupid in stereo, as I say. 1-0 the count to Dylan Walsh, leading things off here in the bottom of the third against Evan Walsh. Who's going to win this battle? Walsh, right? Fouled off. The count will even at 1. Dylan playing his 11th game of the season, 167 hitter, but a 389 on base percentage. He has 2 hits and 12 at-bats, and 1 RBI and 3 runs to go along with 3 walks and 2 hit by pitches. Dylan takes just high for ball 3, 3-1. Against Walsh, Little, and Desai. Due up here in the bottom of the third as looking to break the ice once again, with both teams getting 2 runs in the first. Up the middle, in good position there, though, is Witkowski. Close play at first, but Walsh is retired. 1 up, 1 down. The Blue Sox had their chances, though, to break the tie even after Alvarez's home run. But last two innings have each ended on a double play. 6-4-3 off the bat of Johnson in the first and 4-6-3 off the bat of Feliciano. In the second, Ernie thinking about bunting his way on, pulls back, and it drops in there for strike one. Ernie with a single his first time up. Came around to score on Jules' home run. 2-2 here in the bottom of the third as Lexington Blue Sox looking to win second consecutive game and get back above 500. Swing and a miss, strike two. Blue Sox in fourth place tonight, even in the loss column with Melrose. But Melrose a game up in the win column, but obviously that just means the Blue Sox have a game in hand on them and would like to get those 2 points and pull even. 1-2. 10 games remain for the Blue Sox after this one. 9 are currently scheduled, and we're also waiting on a makeup date for the game that got rained out Monday. Would have been here against Malden. Up and away, 2-2 to Ernie. Be a crammed schedule here. Blue Sox, it's already kind of a crammed schedule. Before we figure out when the Malden makeup is going to be, they have 9 games in the span of 12 days to close out the season. And again, that's before we figure out when we're going to schedule the Malden game from the 17th to the 28th. Full count now to Ernie. Inside corner, strike three called. Well, similar spot where Batista got rung up to end the first, and Little gets the bad news there. So strike out number 2 for Evan Walsh. 2 up, 2 down. Here's V. Desai. Struck out swing his first time up back in the first. Curveball drops in there for strike 1. 0-1. Well, a pretty good pitch to hammer there, but some batters are, might be gun shy about swinging the first pitch. Pops this one up into shallow left, and it drops out of the reach of Witkowski. Bloop single for Desai, and the inning continues. And look who's coming up. Julian Alvarez setting a franchise record for the Blue Sox since 2006 with his home run, his 5th, back in the first, his 5th of the season. And again, there's still 10 more games to play after this. He's got a chance to really pad on. Something in the gap here could give the Blue Sox their first lead of the game. He'll take strike 1 to start. 0-1. Wind isn't whipping around too much right now. Flagpole's slowed down a bit, and Jules fouls that one off, and it is 0-2. Like I said, you don't really notice. You're not really going to notice the wind as it is right now where I'm sitting, but you get it up in the jet stream, could go a long way. Alvarez, center field. And it is caught for the out that retires the side as Valdario hauls it in front of the 392 mark. I don't know. How deep is it out there again? Is it 392 or 382? Regardless, not deep enough. Side is retired. Hey, we're still square at 2 through 3.
Sam. So there's 2 plays in the 3rd inning for Andre. Give an error on the ground ball and give a hit to Betty.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm always searching for that. Like, after that, hey, back to work here. Come on.
We go to the top of the 4th. Batista, Witkowski, and Klein due up for the Chiefs. Pat McGowan out there for his 4th inning of work. Strike 1 to Batista. Got rung up on a favorable strike 3 call for McGowan to get out of a jam in the 1st. And Batista swings and misses, 0-2. Bruce Hackett informed me of a scoring change from the 3rd inning. I'm going to swap the rulings on Reed and Juba's plays. Reed is going to reach on an error charge to the 3rd baseman, Dylan Walsh, and Teddy's going to get a base hit. Foul ball. Hair later, and Batista probably has extra bases on that ball. Instead, it's still 0-2. 2 runs and 3 hits, the tally so far for both sides. McGowan comes set, and the pitch down low for ball 1, 1-2. Chiefs have left 3. Blue Sox have left 2 so far. Upstairs to even the count at 2. Blue Sox are off tomorrow night. I think the entire league's going to be off tomorrow night given the forecast. 2-2. Just high, ball 3. Well, Batista behind 0-2. Pulls 1 foul. And he's taken 3 straight balls since. Can he get on base to start this inning? McGowan comes set, 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout on Batista's ledger, and actually Batista's had 2 of the 3 strikeouts. Now the third, 3 strikeouts by McGowan. The third was by this man, Witkowski, leading off the second. Witkowski 0 for 1. McGowan had retired 7 in a row before Reed reached on that error and Juba had the bloop single. We got Caulfield to fly out and Noon to ground out to third to end that threat. Strikes out Batista, and now Witkowski behind, 0-2. Seen some arms loosening in the bullpen tonight. Watching Miles trying to make a barehanded, two-handed basket catch in the bullpen for that foul ball. Even the players having fun. Swing and a miss, strike 3. I'm sure Pat right now is like, if I could just face Batista and Witkowski all game, I would be so happy. All 4 of his strikeouts tonight have been of those 2 men. Alas, it'd be cruel to insist a team play baseball with only 2 players. Do I have them pitch? 1-0 to Chris Klein, flew out to right his first time up. I mean, if we're talking about position players pitching, that's exactly what Andrew Caulfield did last time Andre was here in that 20-3 Blue Sox win. Got the last defensive out for the Chiefs in that game. And and that game's gonna, resonate with me for a while. As that misses up and in for ball 2, because for all the ups and downs the Blue Sox have had, the Chiefs they're first in the league right now, 12-5. As that is low for ball 3, and you go back on that game, the Chiefs weren't mailing in their chances at the plate or in the field or on the mound. Caulfield got an out. They were engaged. Even well after the outcome was no longer in doubt, and Klein goes down and shovels that one up the middle for a base hit. 2-out piece of hitting for Klein, keeps the inning alive for Valdario. So the 4th hit of the game now for the Chiefs. All of them have been singles, and 2 of them have been by Teddy Juba. Fouled off for strike 1 to Valdario, who grounded out to second to end the second, his first time up. And I realize I haven't finished my thought about, Evan Walsh's numbers. Look at the guy who's been, such a vital contributor to the Chiefs over his career, being 10-25 over the course of 10 years. Consider, a couple of things that have, sandbagged his numbers a bit. And remember I said, in 2016 and 17, he pitched for the Arlington Trojans, as it's 2-1 to Valdario. He was 0-5 in each of those seasons. 0-10 in his career with the Trojans. The Trojans were never a very good team in their years in the ICL, but 2018 comes back to the Chiefs and goes 4-3 with a 2.46 ERA. The next year, swing and a miss, strike 2. The next year, he's only 2-3, but has an even better ERA at 1.99. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Klein was bluffing off of first, held, and doesn't matter. Valdario comes up empty. Strikeout number 5 for McGowan. We're halfway home, and it is still 2-2. A lot of people, will talk about how, wins and, win-loss record is way overvalued in today's game, especially when it comes to, Cy Young Award voting. Look at guys like, Jacob deGrom, who, when Jacob deGrom or Felix Hernandez, who, win the Cy Young Award because they pretty much objectively are the best pitcher on their team, but, a best pitcher in the league, but other pitchers, have better records because they play on better teams. Run support can really be the difference, and you can't control that as a pitcher. Just do what you can, and that's why guys like Felix Hernandez, 13-12, I think was his record, and Jacob deGrom could have a 10-win season as a starter, and he'll still be an NL Cy Young Award winner because it's just that good. Wins and losses may be a bit more important in a league like the ICL where you're playing a fraction of the games. This season we're playing 25 games. We haven't played more than 32 in a season since I've been here, but you know what I'm saying. Walsh is a veteran presence you want on your pitching staff, despite the win-loss record. 1-0 the count to Austin Maisel to lead off the bottom of the 4th, to be followed by DJ Johnson and Ryan Hannigan. Maisel drew a walk his first time up. He skies this one into right field. Parra going over. It'll be caught, though, by the center fielder, Valdario, for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down, and here is DJ. Swung for the fences on the first pitch of his at-bat, and then eventually grounded a 6-4-3 double play to end the bottom of the first. The first of 2 double plays turned by the Chiefs defense tonight. DJ doesn't like that strike call, but I think that was the right call. 0-1. Sure, with a guy like DJ, like that's why I always swing at the first pitch, man. And then he comes up empty at a big curveball there. 0-2. Just past the 1 hour mark of this game. First pitch was at 8:04, 9:05. Bottom of the fourth, 2-2 between longtime rivals, the Andre Chiefs and the Lexington Blue Sox. DJ able to hold up, swing now and run. 1-2. Boy, if he did go around there, he would have had a chance because Noon did not secure it. 2-2, and I think Walsh sensing that with the flinch there on the first ball, tried to see if he would offer that time. Did not. 2-2. And the pitch. Well, waited on the breaking ball. That's what he did with the ground ball he hit. Tried to get it up the middle, but it was cut off by not by Valdario, Witkowski. Time stays foul as Caulfield picked it up in foul territory. Remains 2-2 with 1 out here on the bottom of the fourth. The other way and down for a base hit. Tuck your jersey in, mate. Or do you want it flowing with this wind like a superhero's cape, right? DJ's 1 for 2. Here's Ryan Hannigan, again, returning to the Blue Sox for the first time in over 2 decades. After a nice 11-year career in the bigs. Take strike 1 on the outside corner. Played 2 years with the Boston Red Sox, 2015 to 2016. Wore number 10, the one number he wore with the Blue Sox. Hannigan fouls that one off, and the count will be 0-2. Mentioned, how he's working one-on-one with Craig Corliss, and he's wearing the number Corliss has been wearing this season, as Corliss is now in the MLB Draft League. I said, circle life. He is behind 0-2 with Johnson at first and 1 out here in a tie game, bottom of the fourth. Down the right field line, and that will draw. It's a catch in foul territory. I thought it was going to drop the very last moment, but coming out of nowhere is Parra to haul that one in, and that's where his speed comes in. Guy who's as speedy as Parra, you expect him to be a center fielder, but just as important to track those ones down going into foul territory and prevent Hannigan from having new life, right? So 2 down. Johnson stays at first. Here is Casserly. Takes in the dirt for ball 1. Casserly into right field. And caught again by Parra for the out that retires the side. Talk about how busy it's been in right for Alvarez. Almost as busy lately for Parra. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for the Blue Sox. We're through 4, and we are still tied at 2. Yep.
Rick, if you could sign an audio, I think that's all right.
Yeah. These are the two umpire checks, right?
Yep.
Okay, you're right here.
Yeah, they all were.
Now back to the top of the order for the Chiefs in the top of the fifth. Para, Reed, and Juba. These are the guys who've, contributed the most to the Chiefs' offense. Para takes just high for ball one. Para's 1 for 2. Singleton scored in the first, flew out to right in the third. One and one. I don't know. I categorize that as a makeup call. I think the first one was a strike, and that would have been closer to a ball. But regardless, I think the count is right at this point. 1 and 2. Sometimes the order of the count can mess you up a bit as a hitter, because the pitcher gets ahead 0-1. I can change your approach at the plate. It is 1 and 2. To Para. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Para's 1 for 3, 6th strikeout now for McGowan. His last 4 outs have come by way of the K. Only a single by Klein in between. Miles Reed, after his catching drill in the bullpen earlier, comes to bat for the third time. It comes up empty, strike 1, 0 for 1. Walked and scored in the first, reached on error and stole a base in the third. Pat is now at 70 pitches. Strike 2, and Reed not happy with that call. We'll get on base for Teddy, who's due up next. Caulfield behind him. Just barely able to foul that one off. Look out in the front row of the bleachers. Yeah, I know, right? Who needs them? And we do have a pretty good crowd tonight, that is for sure. It's a foul ball. Reed just barely able to get a piece of that and stay alive. It is still 2-2. That's where we've been since the first inning. Parr and Reed scoring in the first, and Alvarez driving home little on Alvarez's Blue Sox single-season franchise record 5th home run of the season. Reed fouls off another one. Both teams have had their opportunities since then. Chiefs had Reed and Juba aboard, first and second. First and third, I should say. Yeah, first and second, rather. one out in the third, but Caulfield and Noon couldn't bring him home as Reed fouls off another one. Blue Sox had first and second, one out in the second after Casserly reached on a strikeout on a wild pitch and Walsh walked. Blue Sox have had a base runner in every inning, but have not been able to bring anyone home since that first inning. Maisel almost started another rally, too, after Alvarez's home run by walking as the first batter after Alvarez, but then Johnson grounded that 6-4-3 double play. So who's going to come through in the clutch tonight? Ooh. 2-2. Popped up, foul, and out of play. Oh, almost caught by a fan sitting down the middle of the bleachers next to the Chiefs dugout. Reached up with both hands, but just behind him. Two again. Popped up. But that's going to land behind us. Next to us, anyways. Great battle here by Reed. Robbie Cobb warming in the Blue Sox bullpen. With 4 innings, it's already the longest outing of McGowan's season. That is going out of play. Sway standing on his tippy toes on the edge of the grass. See if he can stretch Armstrong the ball into his glove for the out. But the at-bat continues. How many pitches are we on at this point, Bruce? For this at-bat? It's a 2-2. Foul tip into the mitt for strike 3. Wow. Reed finally succumbs to McGowan, but after making him throw that many pitches, is the easy pickings for Teddy Juba. Looking to make it 3 for 3 here with 2 singles already tonight. Ball 1. Neither of which have left the infield, I believe. I don't think the first one did. Hey, Hot Wheels. 1-0 the count. 2-0. Well, I mean, there you go. You have that long at-bat against Reed, and now you have a close one that you don't get the call on, and then that's way outside, and Teddy in the driver's seat. Robbie Cobb looks like he's ready to come in at a moment's notice. Sway guarding the line at first in case anticipating a extreme pull by Juba. 3-0 the count to Teddy. Takes on the inside corner, 3-1. Hey, Meredith. Hey, TJ. How you doing? Swing and a miss. Wow. I mean, it's in the zone, but kind of an uncharacteristic swing from Teddy. Don't really, see him try to, I mean, obviously he's got power, but I don't see, swings of, that nature out of him very much. I don't know. 3-2. Oh! Could have gone either way, and it's ball 4. Teddy's aboard for the third time. I think the fact that was close enough to the zone, it's only 6 pitches. Combined with the fact that he got Caulfield, a righty, coming up to the plate. think that it's enough for Matt Karras and Rick DeAngelis to have McGowan stay in, at least for this batter. Ryan Noon, a lefty, is due up after him. But I think, regardless, this is going to be McGowan's last batter, so I think you're going to see him empty the bucket here, try and get out Caulfield. Caulfield is 0 for 1, sac fly RBI in the first, fly out to right in the third. Takes low for ball 1. Yeah, this is definitely going to be. This is definitely going to be McGowan's last batter. I've been wrong on that sort of thing before, but I just feel like it is going to be 1-1, win or lose. You know, whether you strike him out, whether he just gets on a little, just a walk or a single here, if he ranches one to Hanscom. This might be it here for McGowan. Popped up. Wind's been weird. Desai makes the catch. Nothing has been sacred on these pop-ups the last couple nights. Desai hauls it in. Caulfield is 0 for 3. McGowan gets through 5. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 2-2. Brendan Walsh is going to try and bunt his way on to start the bottom of the 5th, and he's safe. Looked like an easy routine play for Walsh. He spiked the throw into first from what, just like 10 feet away or so? I know, right? Walsh spikes into first, allowing Walsh to reach. Make it stop. Sway. Oh, you know, he wants to bunt. Gets it down beautifully. First and second. First one, Brendan's was a hit too, right? All right, so back-to-back base hits on bunts, and now Rick Yancey's going to call for time. We're going to have a pinch runner for Sway. Aiden Driscoll taking over at first. Welcome back, Sway. He's in his element. So Brendan Walsh at second and Aiden Driscoll at first for Dylan Walsh. Or not. John Carlos Ramirez. Oh man. So John Carlos Ramirez to the plate with first and second. Nobody out. And a walk-off home run against the Bulldogs in that comeback win. So Walsh finishes not just 0 for 1 with the ground out to short. Dylan Walsh, that is. Looking for a 3-run Johnson there, but Ramirez comes up empty for strike one, 1-1. Ramirez is 1 for 7 in that one being the walk-off homer against Lexington. Bulldogs. Down the left field line! Gone! Can you fault him for staring, though? Just make sure. Don't want to waste that energy in case it's foul, but oh my. John Carlos Ramirez, the second home run of the season, and it's the first pinch hit home run of the season for the Blue Sox. They lead 5-2. He's in shape. Lineup turns over for Ernie Little. He's going to try and butt his way on it too, and he hits it foul for strike one. 0 or 100, nowhere in between. Would have made it 3 bunt singles and a home run down the left field line. Love it. You'll love to see it. Little's going to swing, hit this one into center field, and that will be caught by Valdaria for out number 1. Ernie is now 1 for 3 after a single run scored in the first, a strikeout in the third. Here is V. Desai, Evan Walsh. Still out there, no one warming right now for the Chiefs. And actually, hang on, we have a... I still decide. I was going to say. So we wore 8 last night. He's wearing 28 here. 0-1. 0-2. 1 for 2 is V. Strike on the first, single on the third. Outside for ball 1, 1-2. John Carlos Ramirez with his second home run of the season. Oh, and on a 2-strike count, Desai gets plunked. This season, it's taken a lot to upstage Julian Alvarez when he hits a home run. But he's got competition tonight after Ramirez's 3-run pinch hit piece gives the Blue Sox their first lead of the night. Grounded down the first baseline. It's a fair ball. Desai's on his way to third. Alvarez is on his way to second. It'll be a double. Maisel to the plate for the third time as Alvarez is now 2 for 3. Homer and a double. Maisel walk in the first, fly out to center in the fourth. 0-1. Infield comes in for the Chiefs, down 3 in the bottom of the fifth. Walsh comes set, delivers, popped up over towards the Blue Sox dugout, and in front of said dugout, it's caught by the third baseman Klein for out number 2. So DJ to the plate for the third time tonight. Now DJ has done a good job tonight of staying back on Walsh's breaking ball. Grounder up the middle for the 6-4-3 double play back in the first. That's something a lot of power hitters can't really do. As he grounds this one to the right side, though, fielded at second and on to first for the out that retires the side. So the Blue Sox unable to pad the lead after the hit by pitch for Desai, the double by Alvarez. But they do take the lead for the first time tonight with the 3-run pinch hit blast down the left field line by Giancarlos Ramirez. And it is Blue Sox 5, Chiefs 2, after 5. To finish my thought about DJ, doing a good job staying back on those breaking balls in a left-on-left matchup. He did it again against Evan in the fourth. Wasn't the one that produced the hit, but kept the at-bat alive and eventually got the single. But tough luck there with a 4-3 ground out to end the inning with 2 runners in scoring position. So Robbie Cobb, as expected, will be the new pitcher for the Blue Sox, and we'll get all the other changes for you as soon as we can. In the meantime, we'll tell you Robbie's stats on the season. He's making his 5th appearance of the season. He is 0-2 with an 11.06 ERA. In 6 of the third innings, has allowed 16 hits, 13 runs, 10 of which are earned. Walked 2 and struck out 2, hit 1 batter. Against the Chiefs on June 19th, he took the loss, going 2 2/3, allowing 6 hits, 4 earned runs with no walks and no strikeouts. Took the loss last Friday against the Mad Dogs, a third of an inning, 2 hits, 4 runs, only 1 of which was earned, 1 walk and no strikeouts. Hoping to right the ship here too, with a big win potentially hanging in the balance for the Blue Sox if they can make this score hold. So again, we're gonna we got Nate Wolf at. That's Nate Wolf at first, right? Okay. Yep. Little blooper into left and a catch sprinting in by Brendan Walsh for the first out of the inning off the bat of noon. So Nate's going to hit in Sway's spot and Anderson's going to hit in Dylan's spot, right? Okay. So just pretty simple changes there for the Blue Sox. So Cobb on the mound. It's Nate Wolf at first in Sway's spot in the lineup. And Anderson Jimenez in Dylan Walsh's spot in the lineup at third. 0-2, quickly the count to John Batista, trying to avoid the hat trick called out on strikes in the first and swung and missed a strike 3 in the fourth. Cobb delivers. A little hesitation there with the leg kick and plants it in the dirt. 1-2. Batista flips the bat, drives it deep to center field, and it's off the base of the fence. He will get into second with a double. I know the wind's carrying out tonight, but that did not sound like it was hard enough to get out of the park. They actually just made an appeal to first to see if Batista did not touch first on his way to second, and he was ruled safe. So the double stands for Batista. First extra base hit of the night for the Chiefs. Here is Nate Witkowski. He is also 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts coming into this one, as Batista was before that double. 1-0 the count now. Cobb comes set, looks at second, and comes home with it. Runs inside, and it is 2-0. Chris Klein due up next. For Batista, that is his 3rd double of the season and his 10th hit of the season. Inside, and then it pops away from Casserly, and to third goes Batista. 3-0. Wild pitch. A pass ball, all right. And a 4-pitch walk will bring the tying run to the plate for the Chiefs. In the person of Chris Klein. 1 for 2, fly out to right in the second, single in the fourth. Klein grounds this one to short, fielded there to second for 1, on to first! Safe! And the run scores. Batista scores. Witkowski is retired 6-4. Klein reaches on the fielder's choice. Picks up his 5th RBI of the season. Tying run still at the plate for the Chiefs. Valdario into left. And it pops off the glove of the left fielder, Walsh. In to score is Klein. We got a 1-run game. Oh, that is a brutal one. It was a bullet to left. Thought Walsh was going to get to it, but he couldn't secure it. Nicked off his glove. Tying run now in scoring position for Parra. 2 down in the inning. Hannigan, Casserly, and Brendan Walsh due up for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the 6th as Parra does the Statue of Liberty play and takes strike 1. But, you know, he's not just going to, I mean, he can drive him in, all right? He's a great hitter, and he will take his opportunity to tie this game if he can get it. Inside for ball 1, 1-1. So, 5-4 our score. The Blue Sox unable to complete the 6-4-3 double play that would have gotten them out of the inning unscathed. And Klein comes home on the double by Valdario. And Valdario, the tying run at second. Parra into left. Walsh got it. For the out that retires the side. Redemption for Brendan in left. Blue Sox will want to get those runs back. Heard that from the dugout, and you know they'll do their best to do that with Hannigan, Casserly, and Walsh 2 up. Oh, man, how poetic could this bottom of the 6th be if the Blue Sox can, pad this lead here? Evan Walsh is going back out there for the 6th inning. Now, remember, we talked about his 130-pitch complete game against Malden on the day of baseball. And he hasn't pitched at all since June 28th in that when the Chiefs walked off the Blue Sox. Gave up 8 hits and 4 runs in 5 innings. Gowan goes the first 5 with 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. I was going to say, how poetic would it be if the batters who were due up this inning, Hannigan, especially with Hannigan, could help the Blue Sox pad this lead and come away with a win, but it is not going to be Hannigan leading things off. Nick Solitro with a little blue base hit behind third base. Solitro in his Blue Sox debut gets aboard to begin the bottom of the 6th. Pat Casserly to the plate, struck out in the 2nd and flew out to right in the 4th. Casserly making his intentions obvious, fielded at 3rd, throw to 1st. In time, the sacrifice is successful. So Solitro to 2nd. And Brendan Walsh, after being unable to catch the line drive off the bat of Valdario, but able to retire Parra. Now looking for a big hit. Here in the bottom of the 6th to extend this slim lead, 5-4 for the Blue Sox. 1 out, runner at 2nd, and 1-0 the count to Brendan Walsh. He has walked, singled, and scored tonight. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Solitro graduated in 2022 from Rick DeAngelis and Pete Frady's alma mater, St. John's Prep. Just missed down and in, 2-1. Looked to be a similar spot where where Batista got rung up earlier in the game. 2-1. Can Brendan come through against Evan? Swing and a miss. A little bit off bounce there. 2-2. Runner in scoring position. Fouled off. Nate Wolf is due up next, and Wolf will be getting his first turn at bat tonight when he does. Well, again, a late time call not granted, but it works out for Walsh as he gets the walk. It's ball three, excuse me. He gets the ball three. Blech. A little bit ahead of myself. Gets the ball. It's it favors Walsh. I'm okay. Kind of a delayed strike three call, but 2 down. Walsh is retired. I'm living in the future, so some of the presidents might pass, right? 2 down, and Nate Wolf to the plate to try and bring home that critical insurance run, because in the top of the 7th, the Chiefs are going to have Reed, Juba, and Caulfield due up, as this will be caught! Miles Reed with a possible game-saving play there for the Chiefs for the final out of the bottom of the 6th. Is he going to turn that momentum into something special at the play when he leads off the top of the 7th? We'll find out. Oh, man, those are the ones that, those are the ones that touch grass. Bring home big runs like the one Solitro would have had. Not to be there. Miles Reed. Robbing Nate Wolf of a hit. Maybe an RBI too. Borja, Jones, Barasaluthe will try to close things out for the Blue Sox. Robbie Cobb goes 1 inning and allows 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 walk, no strikeouts. Borja to try and close things out. He only his 3rd appearance of the season. He's only thrown a third of an inning in each of his first 2 appearances. Has an ERA this season of 41.79. Well, really 42 if you think, a little more precise, because he's thrown a third of an inning each against the Expos on June 20th and the Bulldogs on June 26th. Against the Expos, allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Against the Bulldogs on June 26th, 1/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. So fresh off a web gem to prevent an insurance run from scoring for the Blue Sox, Miles Reed to lead it off in the top of the 7th. Take strike 1. little blooper the other way and foul. Didn't think it was gonna try more than a blooper. I just looked. Didn't think it was gonna travel as far as it did in the end, but sliced way foul. No doubt about that one. Strike two. Borja pitching a career-high 10 games last season and was 2-0 with one save and a 1.40 ERA in 10 innings. In the dirt for ball one. Reed, Juba, and Caulfield due up here in the top of the seventh in a one-run game. The Blue Sox in front. There is action behind Borja in the Blue Sox bullpen. 2-2. Nate Hartley getting loose, the lefty, for the Blue Sox. Behind Borja, 2-2 the count. Both Wolf and Casserly gave it a look, but realized it was not going to be a play at all on it. So still 2-2. Now remember, we go back to Reed's at bat in the fifth. You know, he fouled off a lot of pitches. Eventually struck out against McGowan. But, you know, it's a little bit of a domino effect. Maybe as he hits this one into left field, and Brendan's got it for out number one. It can get lonely out there when Julian's been taking all the putouts to that point tonight, you know? Leadoff man retired for Teddy. 2 for 2, 2 singles and a walk. Misses inside for ball one. Reed, like I said, put on a long battle against McGowan. Eventually struck out. And, I don't know, feel like McGowan's night was going to be done after that inning anyways, but it made it interesting. Last two batters with Juba and Caulfield. Juba coaxed a walk out of McGowan. Then mound conference with Karras, and Caulfield popped up to short, but it just allows these guys to have another turn at bat with the game on the line. Keep the line moving. Noon flat to left, and then Batista, Witkowski, Klein, Valdario, even Parra's seed off his bat made it interesting. Here we go into left field again. That's going to get down. Perfect night at the plate for Teddy. 3 for 3 with 3 singles and a walk. Just a standard kind of Teddy Juba game. And we're going to have a pinch runner. It looks like Tyler Ferdinand is pinch running for Teddy at first. Brings up Andrew Caulfield. Is he due? Sack fly and an RBI in the first, fly out to right in the third, pop up to short in the fifth. Fouled off for strike one. Ferdinand is 3 for 3 in stolen bases this season, which includes 2 in one game against Melrose on July 5th. Ferdinand in his Boston Amateur Baseball Circuit career dating back to 2012 is 97 out of 103 in stolen base attempts. Does not go, and Caulfield fouls this one off for strike two. Ferdinand had 14 and had 10 steals and 11 attempts in 2018 for the East Boston Knights. Secondary lead by Ferdinand, and he doesn't go. That one's in the dirt for ball one. The same kind of thinking against Caulfield here as he did with Reed. Got ahead of Reed. Get him to go after the 0-2. Reed held up. Caulfield held up. It's 1-2 now. Inside. Deja vu. 2-2. Right now, if you're Borja, just want a tailor-made double play ball to put an end to this one. Easier said than done against a guy like Caulfield, especially with a guy like Ferdinand on first. Full count. Ryan Noon, due up next. Got to figure Ferdinand's going to run here. He doesn't. It's into left field. Walsh leapt it. He couldn't get it. But Ferdinand held up. So Ferdinand holds at third. It's a double for Caulfield. Walsh did a plie to try and get that one. Lucky for him, it stayed in the park. Well, I mean, lucky for the Blue Sox, it stayed in the park, and also that Ferdinand wasn't running the whole way, so he doesn't come home. So it's second and third, one out, Noon to the plate, the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. The infield comes in. Now everybody's going to come in for a conference. You have to feel this is, I mean, righty against lefty with a guy like Noon who's a great hitter. Boy, how spoiled are the Chiefs to have two great hitters as catchers? They're going to put him on. So they will intentionally walk Noon. I'm going to say, like, do you take your chance in a righty-lefty matchup? Second, third, they are not. They're going to try and go for the righty-righty here, but it's no ordinary righty. It's John Batista. 1 for 3, struck out his first two times against McGowan, against Cobb last inning. Double run scored. He has the potential for one of the biggest Batista bombs of his life, but he is behind now 0-1. Saw his power in the semifinals against the Expos last year. Gets a hold of one here. Chiefs could take the lead. Strike two on the outside corner, 0-2. Even if you get Batista, you know, Nate Witkowski might not be the power threat that Batista is, but he's a veteran and he can get the job done. 0-2 to Batista. Borja comes set. Grounder to short. It's bobbled. They don't get anyone. This game is tied. Ferdinand scores. Caulfield to third. E6. And now here's Witkowski. Low for ball one. infield defense has been suspect for the Blue Sox all season, and it cost them potentially a win right there. Fouled off, 1-1. Batista runs pretty well, though, so it's not a sure thing that they get the double play, but you at least want one there, even if they tie the game. But instead, they don't get anything. High for ball 2, 2-1. Witkowski, like Batista, was 0 for 2 with 2 Ks coming into the 6th. He ended up walking. Bases full of Chiefs. 1 out, 2-1 the count. Corner infielders are in. Popped up, fouled out of play. 2-2. Check swing. He went around, says the home plate umpire. 2 down. Wow. Break there for the Blue Sox. And now here is Chris Klein. It's 1 for 3. Flew out to right in the 2nd, single in the 4th, reached on fielder's choice, brought in an RBI in the 6th, and came around to score a run. 1-0. In the bottom of the 7th, the Blue Sox will have Anderson Jimenez, Ernie Little, and V. Desai due up. Down and away, 2-0. Caulfield at 3rd, Noon at 2nd, Batista at 1st. 2-0. 3-0, nowhere to put him. That's the go-ahead run at 3rd in Caulfield, with Valdario due up next. Ball for the Chiefs lead. Caulfield scores. Klein picks up the ribby. And now it's Valdario. Game is flipped around. Valdario, RBI double his last time up, and Borja misses up and away, ball 1. Time is called. Rick DeAngelis going out to the mound. Pitching change. Borja's fallen behind 1-0. Nate Hartley coming in. Borja gets through 2/3 of an inning. Responsible for 2 runs and takes away the possibility of a win for Pat McGowan. Borja now on the hook for the loss as Hartley coming in after the 1-0 to try and keep this a 1-run game now, going into the bottom of the 7th. Hartley's making his 5th appearance of the season. He has no decisions and has not allowed a run this season. In 6 innings of work in those 4 appearances, he's allowed 4 hits, no runs, with 2 walks and 6 strikeouts, and 1 hit batsman. Last appearance was last Friday against the Mad Dogs. 1 2/3 innings, allowing no hits or runs with 1 walk and 3 Ks. Against the Chiefs on June 19th, an inning and a third with allowing 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. The count is 1-0 to Valdario. The Chiefs with 2 runs here in the top of the 7th to reclaim the lead. They led this game 2-0 after half an inning. Blue Sox came back to tie in the bottom half of the first. 3-run pinch hit home run by John Carlos Ramirez gave the Blue Sox the lead in the bottom of the 5th, but they haven't been able to add on, and 2 in the 6th, now 2 in the 7th have given the Chiefs the lead back, and it is now 2-0 to Valdario with Noon at third, Batista at second, and Klein at first. 3-0. Juan Parra is on deck. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks with the bases loaded. 1 by Borja, 1 by Hartley. That run is charged to Borja. Valdario picks up the ribby. Noon scores, Batista to the third, Klein to second. Lineup turns over for Parra. 1 for 4. Single run scored in the first. Fly out to right. Strikeout looking, fly out to left since then. Inside corner, strike 1. 7-5. The Chiefs with 3 runs here in the top of the 7th to reclaim the lead. 5 runs in the last 2 innings. Still have the bases loaded. One and one. Inside corner, strike 2. Curveball in the inside corner for strike 3 called. The side is retired, but the damage has been done. 3 runs on just 2 hits, 3 walks, 1 error. The Chiefs lead the bases loaded, but they are now up 7-5, and the Blue Sox need to make another comeback, or this roller coaster of a season will continue to go up and down. Evan Walsh is going to go back out there for the 7th. However comfortable the Blue Sox feel hitting off of him at this stage of the game, well, they're going to have to use that to their advantage. Jimenez, Little, and Desai, 10-1-2 due up for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the 7th, trailing by 2 for going into the top of the 7th, looking to come away with the win up 1. Blue Sox need to find consistency in the worst way. Need to come up with big plays, big pitches in big spots in the worst way. Clutch time has been a bugaboo for the Blue Sox at the plate, but especially on the mound this season. The comeback against against the Bulldogs, notwithstanding, the Blue Sox have struggled when they're behind late. Jimenez takes down and in for ball one. Anderson is getting his first plate appearance of the game. Dylan Walsh went 0 for 1 on the ground out to short. Giancarlos Ramirez hit a 3-run home run to break a 2-2 tie in this slot in the fifth. But now it's Jimenez's turn, and the count is even at 1-1. The Blue Sox were down 2. Going into the bottom of the seventh against the Bulldogs. Same spot here against the Chiefs. Walsh is up to 92 pitches now, as the count is 3-1. Jimenez fouls that one off. The count will be 3-2. Jimenez slashing 344, 447, 344 on the season. No extra base hits out of his 11 hits. 4 RBIs, 5 walks to 3 strikeouts. And a full count here to lead off the bottom of the seventh. The Blue Sox trailing 7-5. Last night against Melrose, Anderson was 1 for 2. Fouls that one off. Anderson has a 4-game hitting streak going right now, dating back to the loss of the Chiefs on June 28th. Can keep it going here and get aboard to bring the tying run to the plate. Walsh comes, says there is action again in the Chiefs' bullpen. Little blooper down the right field line. That's going to land foul. Again with Parra in right field. It's not a guarantee. It's just going to land. Turn that into an out in the blink of an eye and really deflate an offense. Blue Sox cannot feel deflated right now. Got to fight. They did it against the Bulldogs. Can they do it against the Chiefs? 3-2. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Noon dropped the ball, but Jimenez walks back to the dugout. One down here in the bottom of the seventh. Little fouls that one off for strike 1. Single and a run scored in the first, strikeout looking at the third, fly out to center in the fifth. So Jimenez is retired. Blue Sox unable to get the leadoff man aboard. Got the leadoff man aboard in the first, in the fifth, in the sixth. Scored in 2 of those innings, the first and the fifth. That's down and away, 1-1. Curveball drops in there for strike 2, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pitch up and away. And with the lefty Desai due up, and Walsh only at around the 100 pitch mark now. He's going to try and finish what he started. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The Blue Sox were 2 outs away from a victory. Chiefs load the bases in there for strike 2. Sign 1 for 2, strikeout, single, and a hit by pitch, but a misplay on a 6-4-3 on a potential 6-4-3 double play ball. Don't know if they would have gotten Batista to end the game, but they could have had the man in the middle at least and brought him 1 run. Would have been 1 out, it would be 2 outs, and got Witkowski, but the line kept moving. 1 run as opposed to 3 runs, huge difference. Instead, if that's the case, it's 5-5 now. We would be going to extras if the Blue Sox don't come up with anything here. Desai is able to lay off that for ball 1, 1-2. In the dirt for ball 2, 2-2. Alvarez, can Desai get on base with Alvarez due up next? Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the ball game is over. Complete game by Evan Walsh, finishes what he starts. Boy, treads water beautifully. Despite allowing the 3-run pinch hit home run to Ramirez in the 5th. If you're a Blue Sox fan, it's like, wow, we might be able to win it from here. The Blue Sox were able to create opportunities to pad on after the home runs by Alvarez and Ramirez. But timely double plays. Good defense by the Chiefs. A couple big strikeouts. And the Chiefs able to punish the Blue Sox bullpen as they get 2 off of Cobb and 3 off of Borja Jones-Barasalute to come away with the 7-5 win. A game that took 2 hours and 12 minutes. The winning pitcher, Evan Walsh. The losing pitcher, Borja Jones-Barasalute. No save. Final totals for the Chiefs. 9 runs on 8 hits. And no errors. And for the Blue Sox, 7 runs on 8 hits. 7 runs on 8 hits. And no errors. And for the Blue Sox, 5 runs on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits, and 2 errors. The Blue Sox fall to 7 and 8. The Chiefs maintain first place in the ICL at 13 and 5. This up and down season for the Blue Sox continues. Clutch time, especially for the bullpen. It's been rough for the Blue Sox. And no game scheduled tomorrow anyways. With and probably weren't going to play anything anyways if they did with the rain in the forecast. But Monday, they got to go back to Maplewood, and they got to face the Chiefs again. The talent is obviously there. You just need to execute. That's something you got to find within yourself. If anyone knows how to get it out of this team, it's a guy like Rick DeAngelis. But you know, it's weird. The Blue Sox have been able to respond when they get knocked down. And they respond well. But they can't keep that momentum going. That is the issue. That is why they've been stuck in neutral much of the season. And you can't be stuck in neutral if you're going for another championship. So we'll see what happens Monday night as the Blue Sox take on the Andre Chiefs at Maplewood at Malden Catholic. 8 o'clock first pitch here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to support and follow the Blue Sox Inner City League on Facebook, Instagram, and on the web, InnerCityLeagueBaseball.com. Once again, the final score from center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. It is the Andre Chiefs 7 and the Lexington Blue Sox 5. For all my rowdy friends here at LHS, my name is Sam Feely. Thanks for tuning in. Love you, Katrina.